What's up, everybody? It's Sid. And listen, you guys know I love to travel. I love to explore. I love putting myself in uncomfortable situations in new places, and that's why I'm so stoked for this adventure. This time, we're heading to a place I've always dreamed of, Sri Lanka, an island nation bursting with vibrant culture, ancient history, and breathtaking landscapes. We're talking pristine beaches, rolling hills, lush jungles, and incredible wildlife. This place has got it all. Over the next few days, weeks, who even knows how long we'll be here, we're diving headfirst into the heart of Sri Lanka. We're going to hit up 10 spots you absolutely can't miss. We're talking ancient ruins, stunning temples, epic wildlife encounters, and maybe even some surfing if I can get my act together. So buckle up, because things are about to get wild. This is going to be one for the books. Let's do it. Alright guys, first up on our Sri Lankan adventure, Sigiriya. This place is like something straight out of Indiana Jones. We're talking a massive rock fortress rising almost 600 feet straight up from the jungle floor. This isn't just some random rock though. Back in the 5th century, King Kasyapa decided to build his palace on top of this thing. Talk about a room with a view. The climb to the top is no joke. We're talking thousands of steps, some of them carved right into the sheer rock face, but along the way you get these incredible views of the surrounding jungle and countryside, and the higher you climb, the steeper these walls get. It's pretty intense, not gonna lie, but trust me, the view from the top is worth every drop of sweat. Up here you'll find the ruins of the king's palace, ancient gardens, and these incredible frescoes painted right onto the rock wall. It's like stepping back in time. You can just feel the history here. Sigiriya is the real deal, guys. It's a must-see if you're ever in Sri Lanka. Next stop on our Sri Lankan adventure, Yala National Park. This place is a wildlife lover's dream come true. We're talking elephants roaming free, leopards lurking in the shadows, and all sorts of crazy birds and reptiles. We hopped in a jeep with a local guide and set off into the park. And let me tell you, it wasn't long before we started seeing some serious wildlife. We saw herds of elephants just chilling by the water, crocodiles sunning themselves on the banks, and even a few sloth bears munching on termites. But the highlight of Yala is definitely the leopards. This park has one of the highest concentrations of leopards in the world, and we were lucky enough to spot a few of them lounging in the trees. They're such majestic creatures. Yala is a wild ride, guys. You never know what you're going to see around each corner. It's a true testament to the incredible biodiversity of this country. So we're in Kandy now, the cultural capital of Sri Lanka. And one place you absolutely cannot miss here is the Temple of the Tooth Relic. This place is sacred to millions of Buddhists around the world. Legend has it that this temple houses a tooth relic of the Buddha himself. It's kept in a golden casket inside a heavily guarded chamber. We couldn't actually see the tooth, but the atmosphere here is electric. You can feel the devotion and reverence in the air. The temple complex itself is stunning. It's a sprawling collection of buildings, courtyards and shrines, all adorned with intricate carvings and colorful decorations. We spent hours just wandering around, taking in the sights and sounds. If you're lucky enough to be here during the Asala Perahera festival, you're in for a real treat. It's a 10-day celebration featuring fire dancers, elephants, drummers, and all sorts of crazy costumes. It's a sight to behold. Next up, we're heading to the coast to check out Gale Fort. This place is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. It's a perfectly preserved example of a colonial fort built by the Dutch in the 17th century. The fort itself is massive, with towering walls, cobblestone streets, and charming colonial-era buildings. We spent the afternoon just wandering around, exploring the narrow alleyways and soaking up the atmosphere. One of the coolest things about Gale Fort is that it's still a living, breathing community. People actually live and work inside the fort walls. There are shops, restaurants, hotels, and even a cricket ground. We climbed up on top of the fort walls to catch the sunset over the Indian Ocean. It was absolutely breathtaking. Gale Fort is a truly special place where history and beauty collide. All right, guys, time to lace up those hiking boots, because we're heading to Ella, the adventure capital of Sri Lanka. This place is an absolute paradise for nature lovers. We're talking lush green hills, cascading waterfalls, and some of the most stunning views you'll ever see. Our first stop was Little Adams Peak, a relatively easy hike that rewards you with panoramic views of the surrounding countryside. It's the perfect way to get your bearings and appreciate the beauty of this place. Next up, we tackled Ella Rock, a more challenging hike that takes you to the top of a mountain for even more incredible views. It's a bit of a workout, but trust me, it's worth every step. And of course, no trip to Ella would be complete without a visit to Nine Arches Bridge. This iconic bridge is a masterpiece of engineering and a must-see for any visitor to Sri Lanka. Okay, guys, after all that hiking, it's time for some serious relaxation. And there's no better place to do that than Mirissa, Sri Lanka's beach paradise. We're talking pristine white sand beaches, crystal clear turquoise waters and swaying palm trees. We spent our days here soaking up the sun, swimming in the ocean and sipping on fresh coconuts. It was pure bliss. But Mirissa isn't just about relaxing on the beach. It's also one of the best places in the world to go whale watching. We hopped on a boat and headed out to sea, and we weren't disappointed. We saw pods of dolphins swimming alongside the boat, giant sea turtles popping their heads up for air, and even a few majestic blue whales. It was an unforgettable experience. Mirissa is the perfect place to unwind, recharge, and reconnect with nature. Next up, we're heading inland to Dambulla, home to the incredible Dambulla Cave Temple. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a complex of 5 cave temples dating back to the 1st century BC. The caves are filled with over 150 statues of Buddha, some of them massive and incredibly lifelike. The walls and ceilings are covered in intricate paintings depicting scenes from the Buddha's life. It's amazing to think that these caves have been a place of worship and pilgrimage for over 2,000 years. You can feel the history and spirituality in the air. One of the coolest things about the Dambulla Cave Temple is that it's still an active place of worship. We saw monks chanting and meditating and pilgrims making offerings. It was a truly humbling experience. We're back in Kandy, guys, and this time we're diving deeper into the city's rich culture. Kandy is known for its traditional dances, colourful festivals, and stunning natural beauty. We started our day at the Kandy Lake, a serene oasis in the heart of the city. We took a leisurely stroll around the lake, admiring the views and soaking up the peaceful atmosphere. Next up, we headed to the Kandy Cultural Show, where we were treated to an incredible performance of traditional Sri Lankan dance and music. The costumes were vibrant, the music was hypnotic, and the dancers were absolutely mesmerizing. And of course, no trip to Kandy would be complete without a visit to the Royal Botanical Gardens. These gardens are home to over 4,000 different plant species, including giant bamboo, orchids, and a stunning collection of palm trees. All right, guys, get ready for a change of pace because we're heading up into the hills to Nuwara Eliya, the tea country of Sri Lanka. This place is like a little slice of England with its cool climate, colonial architecture and rolling green hills covered in tea plantations. We visited one of the many tea factories in the area where we learned about the process of growing, harvesting and processing tea leaves. We even got to sample some of the freshest, most delicious tea we've ever tasted. After our tea factory tour, we took a scenic drive through the hills, passing by cascading waterfalls, lush green valleys, and endless rows of tea plants. It was like driving through a postcard. Nuwara Eliya is the perfect place to escape the heat, enjoy the fresh mountain air, and indulge in a cup of world-class tea. Our final stop on our Sri Lankan adventure takes us back in time to the ancient city of Polonnaruwa. This UNESCO World Heritage Site was once the capital of Sri Lanka, and today it's a sprawling complex of ancient ruins, temples and monuments. We spent the day exploring the ruins, marveling at the intricate carvings, towering stupas and ancient statues. It's amazing to think about the people who lived here centuries ago and the civilization they built. One of the highlights of Polonnaruwa is the Galvihara, a collection of 4 massive Buddha statues carved out of a single granite rock. The statues are incredibly detailed and expressive, and they're a testament to the skill of the ancient Sri Lankan sculptors. Polonnaruwa is a truly special place that gives you a glimpse into the rich history and cultural heritage of Sri Lanka. And that's a wrap on our Sri Lankan adventure. This country has absolutely blown me away. From the ancient ruins to the stunning beaches, the lush jungles to the vibrant cities, Sri Lanka has something for everyone. I've experienced so much, learned so much, and made memories that will last a lifetime. If you're looking for an adventure, for a chance to connect with nature, history, and a culture that's both ancient and alive, Sri Lanka needs to be at the top of your list. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. Make sure to subscribe for more travel adventures, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.